Shoutout today. I started eating one a little while ago because I was so hungry I couldn't stand it. I was just famished, so I just started eating one. But I got plenty of food here. I got a lovely MACINTOSH apple, a bubbly. I've had these before, these creamsicle twisters. Oh, and I made these on my cooking channel, my haystacks. These are like a no big type thing. Really good. Before I get started, I have some shoutouts. Now, Karima Boer. Happy 50th birthday, Karima. Or it's Cream or Karima. Anyways, Karima Boer. That's the way it was written. So happy 50th birthday. Karima's birthday is on July the 5th. So Karima Boer, happy birthday to you. You're getting your birthday wish now because I don't want to forget. So as long as I'm making a video, I want to do it now. And Jesse from, okay, Jesse, you're 7 months sober. Jesse is 7 months sober. That's amazing. Okay, good for you, Jesse. That's fantastic. You know, keep on going, my friend. That's really good. 7 months sober. Keep on going. Okay. Militia. Militia has a birthday July 8th. So once again, I'll give Militia her birthday wish now from Austin. Was it Austin, Ray, and Dominic? So, yeah, happy birthday, Militia, on July 8th from Austin, Ray, and Dominic. Lula. Lula has been a long time subscriber. Big shout out to Lula. And Alberto Chavez. Alberto Chavez. A big shout out to you, my friend. Okay. So a big shout out to the rest of you as well. I appreciate your support. So you people having birthdays on the 5th and the 8th of July, I hope you have good birthdays and have fun and stay safe. Okay, I got a turkey bacon wrap here with cheese. I have something interesting to show you. Two things. No, it's not my scissors. Stick bugs. Not stink bugs, stick bugs. Linda and I have had stick bugs for years. We have a little solarium type thing that we built for them. And we keep them in there. But every week or 10 days we have to clean their cage, give them more food, more water. And these bugs, they seem to be able to reproduce without any females or eggs or nothing. It's very bizarre. So in order to clean their cage, I bought these wraps at the deli. In order to clean their cage, we have to take them out and put them into an ice cream bucket. And then put the lid on while we're cleaning the bucket. And once we clean out their cage and give them fresh water, and they eat blackberry leaves. And there's lots of blackberry leaves around here, no shortage at all. Once we clean their cage, give them more food and water, we have to start putting them back in. You have to be very gentle with them when you pick them up. And what always seems to happen is we miss a couple. Now the big ones are easy to see, but the small ones, about 1/4 of an inch, not so much. a flashlight that we shine around. We found stick bugs days later, on the counter, crawling up the wall. My favorite apple. Made a bit of a mess there. So anyways, you get their cage all cleaned out, put them back. We've given some to my son and some to our friends. They're an interesting little bug. Whenever people come over, they've never seen them. They're always very interested in them. And they don't bite or nothing like that. Now, another thing I've been talking about before for a long time. Is the rabbit population in our area. It's really been increasing, especially the last year. We noticed last summer we had 2 rabbits move into our place, and they've never left. I have a black one and a brown one. They've had batch after batch after batch of babies. It's crazy. Now I got some kind of crude video from my phone where I was just walking around the neighborhood just on a typical night. And I got lots of video of rabbits. It's not very good, I admit. The quality's not very good, but there's no shortage of rabbits. Every house has at least 2 or 3. Some people have 5 on their lawn. The other day I saw some guy, he had 8 rabbits on his lawn. They're everywhere. Nobody seems to mind. There doesn't seem to be any predators around aside from owls. Or maybe big dogs, but I never see dogs off leash. And Marcy's never off her leash. Marcy is, there's no way she could catch a rabbit anyway. It's just kind of weird to walk through a neighborhood and see just rabbits, scurrying across the road, just darting here and darting there. Black ones, gray ones, white ones, tawny colored ones, or brown, whatever. Good old MACINTOSH apple. The minute I bite into it, brings back memories of when I was a kid. I mentioned this before, there's so many different kinds of apples out there now. I'll try one of these licorices. course, that's not really licorice, it's a twister. Creamsicle twister. Oh wow. Like I said, I've had them before, they're very chewy and tasty. These are really tasty. Very fresh and chewy. I keep dropping crumbs all over. Little bacon bits. No bacon bit left behind. Okay, here we go. Like I said, I bought these wraps at the deli. They're not the greatest, but not that bad. I'm sometimes a little bit apprehensive about buying things from the deli because you never know how long it's been there, right? Always check the dates, but that don't always mean anything. So, you remember when you were a kid and you were in school and the teacher said, that you had to do some kind of an oral presentation, like an oral book report or a speech or something like that. And that used to terrify me. Now I believe that was a big part of show and tell when you were a kid, was to get you used to going up in front of the class and, public speaking, But show and tell was different. There was always something on your own terms, right? And it was something that you were generally interested in, you wanted to show it off, and something you were kind of proud of. And, it wasn't a big deal, really. But having to get up in front of the class and speak, memorize, a book, if you had to do a book report and memorize what you're talking about, had to be like maybe 5 remember that used to terrify me. I wouldn't sleep for days and weeks. I was never any good at it. I was never comfortable doing it. I remember when we got to, grade 3 and 4, we had to do stuff like that. I remember in grade 5 we had to do one, and I think that'd be like 5 minutes. And I think I did some about wildlife or something. I can't remember, but I was just terrified. And it was one of those days when they had the parents came to visit, the classroom. So it wasn't just the students that had to be in front of it, it was the parents as well. When the teacher called my name, I'll never forget that. It's almost like a cannonball to the guts, you know what I mean? Some people were quite comfortable doing it, but I never was. I think in may have been grade 7, I think. I had a teacher tell me to slow down because I talk so fast. I just start talking really, really fast, right? I guess I just wanted to get it over with or something. So that went on all through school, pretty much. We always had to see we always had to do that. And I remember 2009. I was taking a carried course for 6 months. And we had some kind of debate going on, and I was saying something. And I remember I was saying my piece. I remember suddenly I couldn't breathe. I couldn't seem to catch my breath, It was terrifying. So part of the course, we had to make 2 presentations. I thought, oh no. So I thought, I've got to do this. So I just started. I remember one time years ago, one of my classmates told me that his dad had to do presentations all the time as part of his work. And he said when he got up and made a speech or did a talk, he didn't memorize it, he learned it. And I thought that there's probably something there, So I remember the presentation I did. I learned as much about it as I possibly could. Laid it out the way I wanted. And I practiced in my kitchen. I was renting an apartment at the time. I would just stand there and just practice in my kitchen. And I remember just leaning against the counter with it in my hand and just reading it. I had it sections. So it wasn't about memorizing, it was about learning. And that way I was able to talk about it. So I wasn't memorizing something and reciting it. I had learned about something. And then I was talking about what I knew. Threw in a little bit of humor in appropriate places. To keep their interest. And I absolutely aced it. I wasn't nervous. I remember standing in my kitchen, leaning against the counter, and with a paper in my hand, just reading and finding out the point where, like I said, I didn't even need the paper. I just got up and I just talked. I talked about what I had learned. And I was so comfortable after doing it so many times that when I got from the class, I was totally comfortable. I didn't fall apart. I just took my time and I told them what I had learned. And it turned out great. I had to do that twice. And I did learn a lot. Because one of them was on MS, multiple sclerosis. And I learned a lot about that. Now I'm going to try one of my haystacks. I love haystacks. I learned to make these from when I was a kid. My mom taught me. And the recipe used to be on the back of the Fry's cocoa container one time. Now I think there's brownies on there. It has been for years, but haystacks used to be on the back there, I'm pretty sure. But there are no bake type cookies, what they are. You could train a monkey to do it. But really, really tasty. But public speaking was never my forte, ever. And it probably never will be. I remember one time, well, a couple times, if I do it like a celebration of life for a friend or somebody. One time I was asked to say something, another time I just volunteered. And I just related some of the experiences I had with that person. Kept it short and light. Hope I don't get a bellyache from eating all these TWIZZLERS. last haystack. If you check out my cooking channel, you can see how I made these. I mean, there's nothing to it. I love listening to people talk, especially when they're whispering. Or sometimes they're talking to themselves, you know. And they don't realize that, you know, they're talking to themselves. Like I mentioned before, when Linda's knitting, which is something she does in the winter time a lot. Because it's dark so early, right? And she'll just be, you know, whispering to herself, you know, and kind of talking to herself, but in a whisper. But I also like inaudible sounds, like, you know, just mouth, like not even speaking, just, you know, like clicking and just different sounds and just, you know, stuff like that, soft whisper, you know, just, you know, not even saying anything, just talking about nothing. That's what I like about ASMR. There's so many triggers. So many triggers. Whether it's mouth sounds or eating, whispering, or just the sound of, you know, some paper like that, you know. Or, you know, people rubbing their hands together. The other day, the dog got me up early. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I got up. And I was okay, but by the afternoon, man, I was really tired. I was ready for a nap. And so about 2 o'clock, I sat in the recliner, kind of leaned back. And sometimes when the dog is, you know, like licking herself or chewing on her foot, she seems to chew sometimes, scratches, whatever. That's like ASMR itself, you know. But I thought, you know, I could put on my headphones and listen to some ASMR. So I did, and in no time, I was napping, man. It was so good. There's this Korean lady I listen to, Rapella. I think it's Rapella. Never speaks a word of English. Just whispers in her own language. Eating chewy candies. Just fantastic. The video's been out for years. I've watched it. I don't know how many times. Somebody asked if my lamp was different. It's the same lamp, I think. Sometimes the different lights reflect differently on it. So I'll need to, propose a toast. Maybe say a few words. Which means having to do some public speaking, so I'll just get up and I'll have something, something ahead of time. I want to choose the right words. But I'll keep it short. So Linda and her friend got back from Toronto yesterday. Their flight was from Toronto to Vancouver and Vancouver over to the island here. But their flight in Toronto was delayed 3 hours, which meant they missed their connecting flight to the island from Vancouver. So they had to take a ferry instead. So instead of getting in at around 11:45 in the morning, I picked them up at the ferry about 5:30 in the evening. But they made it home nonetheless. I still got a few crumbs on my plate here. I got a bit of a mess over here, don't I? Wow, that's very sweet, Twizzlers. When I was a little kid, I was always tapping everything. It's like different sounds. And I'd be sitting at the table and I'd have my fork and I'd, hit the gravy bowl, or I'd tap the plate, or I'd hit the salt and pepper shakers or something, Used to drive my mom nuts. Wow. Maybe I'll have just one more. Just one more. Just try and stop me. Very good. I can only imagine all the chemicals and artificial flavors that goes into making one of these. I love creamsicles. I love orange floats. My favorite float is an orange float. Like some good French vanilla ice cream and some orange crush. Just that crush. It's so good. Years ago, probably about back in the 70s, I went to the Dairy Queen. And I forget how I got onto this. But they used to have those kind of like a Slurpee type thing, but they had a different name for it. Misty or something, I can't remember. But they had these, I was talking to the girl there and she said, "No, you should try this. It's an orange Slurpee, whatever, with vanilla ice cream." I think it was called Mr. Misty Kiss or something. Man, it was good. It was just like an orange float. It was so good. I remember I had those for years. Then in '89 I got onto the Blizzards, and I've been eating Blizzards ever since when I go there. You know, I had banana split a few years ago. First time I had a banana split in probably well over 40 years. I could barely finish it. It was just, man, it was just so much. You know, a whole entire banana, a lot of ice cream, and all those toppings. Wow. But I remember when a banana split was the big thing at an ice cream place. Now they've got all kinds of stuff, but, you know, mind you, back then they had chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, right? I always think of that movie Jaws. I've probably told you this before. This movie Jaws came out in the 70s. And this one cinema, somewhere, I think in the United States or somewhere, they were really in the swing of things. They had three flavors of ice cream: strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate, but they called it Jawberry, Vanilla, and Sharklet. It was too funny. That was during their running of Jaws. Wow, my bubbly's all gone. Oh man, had enough licorice. Well, there it is, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. If you want a shout out, be prepared to wait 10 days, 2 weeks. I don't mind doing shout outs one bit. I always like it if you put your name down the bottom as to how you want me to say your name. For instance, a perfect example is Militia. The person who requested the shout out for Militia sounded out Militia's name, you know. Very cool. I like that. That certainly helps. And I hope I pronounced it right. After all that, how could I not, right? Because it's spelled Militia, but spelled or pronounced Militia. Yeah, so something like that. Or, you know, if you have like an online handle, like a lot of people do, but your name is, as an example, Scott, you know, and you want me to just call you by your first name or whatever. But, you know, if you can sort of write it out so I can pronounce it properly, because I don't like to dispronounce anybody's name, okay? But anyways, so that's for shoutouts. So I thank you for tuning in, my friends. You look after yourselves, look after each other, okay? And while you're tuning into my cooking channel, check out my haystacks. They're so easy to make. If you've got all the ingredients, you can make them with hardly any ingredients at all. You can make them within minutes. Excellent treat. Okay, so we'll see you next time. Look after yourselves, look after each other. Stay amazing out there in the big land of awesome, and we'll see you next time, okay? Bye now. My stomach finally stopped growling.